and welcome to the Unspoken-LKDW. Today we're discussing society versus youth. And I'm sure you're wondering why versus. Versus because in as much as the youth are the society and the society is the youth, but then more time they tend to fish us out of the society when we do bad stuff or when they want to play the blame game with us. It's not the society's fault, it's your fault that you're doing that. And I'm sure Anna has a lot to say about this.
Definitely, because there's a big stigma, a very sticky stigma around the youth. There's a lot of bad talk that goes around the youth and the things that they do. But nobody wants to dive in and say, what's the cause of this?
Right.
What do you have to say?
The only thing I hate is like when, let's say a kid does something wrong, they go, hale. That generalization, hale.
Okay, that was sorry. I have to cut you here so we could introduce our guest we have here on scene today. So over here is Mr. Saini Marina, right? And over there we have Auntie Anna again, who is our mother.
Yeah, hello.
Yes. So Auntie Anna, can you please tell us more about yourself and what you do to our viewers over there?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I'm Auntie Anna, Anna John, Yai Khalei,
That's right.
Si xa programme bi daal ñu la ko def rek bem dee jàppati.
What about you, Mr. Mariana? Can you please explain to the audience what do you do?
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Welcome,
Good
welcome.
to be embedded in young people because myself, I'm a young person, because I'm still below the age of 35.
Yes.
But very soon I will move from that stage. Anyway, my name is Sene MK Marina. I'm a journalist, communication expert, and also somebody passionate about media freedom. I have been an activist some part of my life.
Freedom of speech.
During the days of the former regime, which I was a victim. So I drew my inspiration to, advocate for more freedom. And thank God now we are enjoying that freedom.
So where do you work?
I work with different media organizations. I started journalism some 15 years ago. I immediately after high school. I completed from Armitage High School. It's the only government boarding school in the Gambia, located somewhere in Central River Region, settlement of Janjambure. So I started my journalism career with the Point newspaper. That was way back in 2007-8.
Okay.
And then I work as a freelance reporter, climbing through the ladder to become, an editorial assistant covering the courts, the National Assembly. From there, and then from there I moved to Standard newspaper, where I started having my troubles with the law.
Exactly, when you said that you had troubles when you were young.
Yeah, very young, very young.
How did that affect you, like the society? I know they were not on your side the whole time.
Absolutely, absolutely. As a young person, we all know that we are most of the time, very excited about things we do. And looking at my background, growing up in a very poor rural background, originally I'm from Kudang. Kuda is in
I don't even know where that is.
It's in Sierra. So, when I finished high school, I had this dream to be a journalist, to, tell the story of the disadvantaged, to tell the stories of ordinary people, especially, people living in rural Gambia. Because to me, these are people whose stories have not been told.
Definitely.
So they have to have someone who will tell their story, someone who can relate to them, and someone who is from there. So my motivation to join journalism came from my childhood memories. So I knew very well then as a young reporter, age 20, 21, I ventured into journalism looking at the environment then. A lot of young people will not love to be journalists because we have a very hostile media environment. Journalists have been arrested, some have been persecuted, some, have been killed, I would say. So, young people were like, no, this is not an area for us, but I
would, sorry to cut you, I would like to come back to that, seeing as you've had different experiences moving from place to place and different experiences in the creative, I would like to term it as media. But I'd like to ask Auntie Anna, as a parent, what is your stance on society versus youth? I'm sure everybody was wondering, or people that know are wondering, why society versus youth when the youth are the society or are in the society, versus because there's an evident divide. There's that, okay, when a youth goes wrong, when a young person goes wrong, that's it. Halabi, don't me do, don't me keep it. But when an older person goes wrong, oh, it's fine, you know. We tend to overlook the wrongs of the older generation just because we want to, you know, caress, we want to, it's okay, na nobu, na duga sibir, you know. I mean, a lot of the times, young people are blamed for certain things and they never, didn't they say it from jogi? Comme lu bon lum def ni. So say be set. Yaay ba yarut or yaay ba setu dom bi bu baax lum nekati def.
Queen.
Queen yow nag.
yaa ngi joxe
yaa ngi tooñ yaay.
Déedéet su ma waxee yaay.
dina ko waxee
yaay mooy baay, yaay mooy yaay, papa everything.
waaye lenn dafa am. gis nga doom.
waaw
soo ko juree. juruloo ko yore.
Dégg nga.
doom ñëpp a ko jur. kër gam jógee ci mbeddam mi moo dem. parce que doom dafa am ñetti place yu wax yoo xam ne foofu laa dundee. mooy këram. mooy mbedda bi ak school ba moo jàng. te benn doom la te benn nit la. te benn nit kooku. mooy muuf ci société bi. yow mun ngaa yar sa biir néeg ba mu baax. yar def mu jullite def mu am yar. def muy wax lu baax. def mu duggal ci dara lu bon. waaye dafa génn dem ci mbedda mi. te foog mu interaga nit ñi. because leen nit la. foog mu jëflante nit ñi. so ci jëflante boobu am na ci lu moo fool. am na ci ñu moo am. te nit ñi ba bokkuñ. moom fi mu jógee ak fi kële jógee ak fi kële jógee ak fi kii jógee is different. so dañoo mit. so foofu laa pigee something
different
to bring them back home. or mu pick ko si school bi. with friends. so dangaa gis ne doom doone society baa ko yaaxa. or doone ci kër gi la yaaxoo.
moom moo yaaxal boppam.
déedéet. moom yaaxul boppam.
the environmental influence.
yëpp ci environment bi.
Environment bi.
Auntie Anna, am naa question léegi gis nga right now Gambia duñ dee xalaat de that environment mun naa cause things like that si ñoom like xale bi la. These kids are like this, these kids are like this. The kid lives in an environment where everyone is gambling, everyone is fighting.
So does this then mean that when parents move into new environments, they have to scout the environment?
Yes, I think so.
Yes,
You cannot move to an environment where...
But how many parents do that?
Okay, but we don't move on. That's why we are
Parents will always know.
Queen, some parents do that.
Yeah, they do. Not all, but they do.
Parce que sa doom danga war a nekk sa salbeem. Koo toppa. su fekkee ne bugga nga sa doom doon dara ba ba moo doonee kam bugga nga doon foog nga toppa ko.
Why?
Bi nga koo toppee mooy dina la hide lu bari moom doom ji. because moom loolu la ko. lim ko mooy lii kii suma yaay la war ko xam because yow kii sa téléphone yi doom doo ko xam xale yi yëpp a def password seen téléphone yi si message bi dafa am password ci phone bi su daayal dafa am password su waree am
loolu taxul mi ngeen def lu bon
but that's not even all kids.
déglu loolu taxul mu def lu bon de lu taxul rek mu def lu bon de waaye dafa am lu ko motiver ci loolu yëpp gis na si société bi soo nekkee xaaleel te yaru tey nga génn si société bi most of them du ñu bëgg a di la yow.
waaw loolu dëgg la.
saka ci góor ñi booy si.
waaw moom dëgg la
su fekkee ne doo tuux doo naan doo póon doo lok neneen soo demee toog seen biir yow da nga tooy. oo dina la yow ci manga.
The reason why us youth, we're not impacting as much as we should is because we still have this dependency syndrome. Yeah, we always want the government or our elders to make way for us first before we actually make way for us. So that shouldn't actually happen. So we don't have to wait, because if they don't create it, we have to create it ourselves. And then another thing that we're lazy, to be honest. Not we, all of us, but some of us, we are very lazy. And some of us, we are addicted into things that are not making us move forward, like this gambling. Many of us are into it. That money we're putting into gambling, we could have used it to save and then get something productive or use it in a productive way.
Mr. Marina, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I think I agree with Auntie, and she seems to be very conversant with the societal issues because she's a mother to all of us. And I can tell you, without, thinking twice that society has a serious impact on the
upbringing of
a
the child.
particular child. You know, and coming to your question, what do society and youths perception? Youths, you know, because we are the cream of the society. When you are youthful, you do a whole lot of stuff. You hear people telling you that when I was 24, I used to be a superstar.
I don't think that.
You know, you tend to have that youthful, excitement. You know, because at that age you are capable of making, good or bad. You know, and African society perceive us in various ways. You know, at times, young people will be trying very hard to make ends meet. But the way and manner they are doing it will not be appreciated by the society.
Let me come to that. Let's come to that.
So, Auntie Anna, so what do you think are the roles of the youth in the society?
I feel like as a youth, we're very, very divided. A lot of people, they have ideas and they want to go forward with them, but they're too scared of what people will think of them.
Wow.
What part do you have to play?
Yeah, that's why I asked you.
But I don't think the youth, they know how powerful they are.
They don't know.
Exactly, they don't know their rights.
But there's a reason for
No,
that.
let's be honest. If you
dafa powerful.
don't know how powerful they are, it's just
Yow li ma laaj dafa yaa. Parce que man koñ bi ma dëkka. As an example. Yéen da ngeen fa dee ñëw.
Yeah, that's right.
Da ngeen dégg si youth si fi ñu toog. Dañ dee ewu suba ba ngoon. You're sitting in one place.
You're just drinking attire.
But I'm drinking
You are just
Some of them,
attire.
they are not even drinking attire.
attire.
Drinking
Hold on.
beer.
Hold on.
Yellow,
Attire is
They're
not
not
wrong there.
smoking.
Attire is not
No.
wrong.
But you ask
We are not-
yourself, why are young people
Exactly.
That's
doing
I was like,
exactly.
exactly.
That's it.
That's what we need to come to.
You need to look at the issues confronting young people
Exactly.
and come and address
Why
them.
they turn
You know,
into
it's
these things?
unfortunate because it's not our wish to see a lot of our young people hanging around from
And being
morning
aimless.
to evening
Exactly.
without doing anything productive. That's affecting.
But that's because
Yeah.
these same young people have seen their own uncles sit outside, drink attire from morning to evening, not be productive, not do anything, and you expect.
No, you
it's
should
like
not
but
gener-
no,
you
but
should
it's
not
like you're
generalize.
smoking. It's like you're smoking,
Queen, it's
and
not
you want to tell
everybody.
your child don't
Queen,
smoke,
some people-
but you send your child to buy cigars.
Wow, it makes sense.
Exactly.
That is
Someone
why-
you can't leave,
that
that's
is
what
why-
So until we stop sitting outside not being productive, young people too are not going to stop
Yeah, but the
sitting outside and being
environment, I
productive.
think
So
the
the environment
environment
as a
has to be
whole.
conducive for young people to achieve their fullest
That's it.
potential.
Because you see a lot of
Without
people comprehend.
government or organization providing that environment,
Exactly.
this is not encouraging young people that they should fold their hands, but at least the environment should be there to help these young people achieve their potential. We have seen at ghettos, we've seen bright and smart kids.
Yeah.
Most of them
No, they're
want
out-
to be
they're out
artists.
there, very
Some are
talented
very
people.
creative. So
And a lot of parents don't want their kids going in the creative arts. They feel like it doesn't put food on the
Gambia
table.
fees,
Yeah,
one
exactly,
doctor,
because-
doctor. Don't
Wow, so they could be a doctor, while a nurse, while a
Some can play football. Some can play football.
No, we have very talented footballers out here.
Football.
when it comes to our
lot
talent.
of them are creative in the sense that I have seen. I live in Kerseri. In that neighborhood, you will say it's more of an industrial neighborhood. You will find a lot of people going to the beaches, or a lot of people making their living through, bomb station. You call it people going to the beach to, talk to white men to give them some. But most of them have their secondary profession. They either craftsmen, they do crafting,
Some play football.
some painting, some do a whole lot of issues. But I think the issue here is that how do we provide an enabling environment for young people? Because without providing that enabling environment, young people will not be able to achieve that potential.
Yeah, so Mr. Marina,
Yeah.
so what do you think is hindering the productivity of the youth?
There are a lot of factors that is hindering. One is that unconducive environment. Look, if you have a government that does not care about the young people. In the Gambia, at least 45% of the population is young people. So if young people go without jobs, this will affect even the
There's a lot of
economy.
unemployment.
I think it's high time.
So I think the
You're
government,
making it
what
too
they
nice.
need to do is to create.
No, I think it's high
various
time.
avenues,
Mr. Martin, I understand what you mean.
What do you mean?
Create
But
employment.
sometimes you have to blame the youth. You guys are not.
Yeah,
doing it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You're not gonna.
You have to shy away from what
Absolutely.
the government.
Some young people who are very useless in the sense that they've
not even useless. I've seen talented youth who are useless.
They act useless.
Exactly.
They've been given projects. Let's say they have lot of projects that are in this country.
But that's because
from the young people, the youth empowerment project. Even myself, currently where I work with a project called Gambia Pilot Program. It's an agricultural investment where we give grant to returning migrant, to young people and women in 3 value chain areas. That is horticulture, poultry, and fisheries. But how many young people are engaging into this?
How many young people that partake of those projects?
You're not gonna make it.
No, how many young people that partake in those products actually succeed? Is that enough motivation? How many?
They're out there.
How many?
They're not many.
50 people will go into this project.
40 will succeed.
25 will drop. The other 10 will say that this is not me. The other 15 that will try to succeed, they will go to CCC and be like, listen, this is not because nobody.
The dedication is not there for sure.
Nobody explains the in-depth things of what we do. They just give us projects and say, okay, this is the ground surface level. They never tell us about the failures involved.
That young people are also doing extraordinary things.
Yeah, we outside.
We are doing extraordinary things.
I'm very proud of them. You have seen women, young women taking lead in various sectors. When you come to the media, you have young journalists. These are female reporters. They're doing amazing. You see them on the screens, hosting program. People like
Mr. Marina, unfortunately,
you're very productive.
Mr. Marina, unfortunately, we have to go for a break.
Yeah,
sure.
We'll be right back.
Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens, strategically located in Jambanjeli, off the new Sikuta Jabang Highway. Taft Tulip Gardens is set to comprise of finished 2 to 4 bedroom houses and service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar streetlights, all-weather roads, and scenic gardens. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only. We offer flexible payment plans, a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank, and EcoBank, or an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at Taft Bluefoot Gardens Estate opposite 5-Star Hotel.
Assalamu alaikum, mbokki Gambia, mbokki Sénégambia, waa Empire ma yónni ci yéen mbokki Gambia. ñu ne yéena leen lebal ker ñu fay leen tamit moo waral nag ñu wàññi mboolem bagage bu ñu am biir Empire wàññi nañ togg yi yëpp wàññi nañ togg yi te togg yi different kind of togg lañ am ak different size ci togg saal boo am amal nañ la toogoom cabinet boo am amal nañ la toogoom kon nag mbokki Gambia ñëw leen biir Empire ñu ñëw nag ci dining table yi jeeg ñaa ngi nii lii mooy dining table yi jeeg ñi te dining table yi dafa àndaa ay bagaasam yoo xam ne moom lañ laa jaayaale mu àndaa ak dining bi ak ay bagaasam dining bi li lay ànda moo lii moo ànda soo buggee télé boo mën a bugga saay sam bu emamaay ba ca toppa ak beneen ba toppa ca télé boobu soo ñëwee biir Empire fii di nga ko am kapet boo bugga Empire nga ko am different size ka kapet lañ leen amal façon ngi kapet boo bugga soo duggee see biir Empire da nga ko am ñoo leen biir Empire loo leen bugga soo ñëwee Empire di ngeen ko fi gis price boo leen am di ngeen ko fi gis asalaamaaleykum.
The development of our Dalaba estate commenced in November 2018. Today, Dalaba comprises of over 350 affordable and quality homes with fenced and gated service plots. The estate boasts features such as surfaced dressed roads with interlocking bricks, solar street lights, and beautiful landscaping to be further complemented with 1,500 fruit trees. With accessibility to water and electricity, fenced service plot owners continue to develop their properties. Over 90% of the estate has been completed and handed over to their respective owners within a period of 24 months. TAF Africa Global has transformed a 20-hectare undeveloped plot into a fully functional residential estate, housing families comfortably. TAF Africa Global. Our experience is global, our focus is Africa. For information on any of our current and future developments, please call +220 776 2333 or 376 2333.
Welcome back to the Unspoken. Before the break, Mr. Saini was giving an important point before Dawo interrupted him. So I would want Mr. Saini to continue on this point he was giving. And after you're done, can you please pass it to Antiana, because I think she has a lot to say.
Yeah, I think the discussion is very interesting, and I love it, because discussion by young people for the young people is always interesting. We were talking about the role of young people in the society, and how the society perceive us young people, even if we are doing extremely well in our various fields. I think young people have a great role to play in terms of shaping the society, in terms of helping the society to also develop. Because we have seen in the Gambia here, we have a very youthful population, and when you look at the young people, we have been used by politicians for their own selfish interests. And at times you ask yourself, why are young people not learning from previous experience? Like young people, always at the front line in terms of, canvassing votes for politicians. But when they get into power, they forget about the young people. You will hear all sorts of stories about young people. If there are protests, they will say these are bad people. Bad young people are the ones leading it, forgetting that it was the young people who were at the forefront, in effecting that particular change. So I think the society owes the young people, and as well as the young people also owe it to the society. Exactly. So how do you give back to your society? As I always say, you have to be a good person, and then you can, young people have a lot of potential. Right. As I said previously, that you will hear a lot of quotes who will tell you, look, when I was 30, I was doing, great things, this and this and this, and they are 50. So that shows to you that youthful, age is a very component part of growth and development. So young people should not waste their time on productive things. Instead, they should work very hard, to build their careers, within that youthful experience. So I said, we have a problem, but we have solution. And how do we amalgamate these things and find solution, to problems confronting young people? There should be a continuous dialogue. Yeah, one of those dialogue is this. So, you keep engaging with them, talk to young people, tell them, look, if in 10, 15 years, time, you are the future leaders. You will be, you will be the president, the minister.
But I think young people at this point were tired of hearing, you're the future leaders, you're the future leaders. I feel like it's high time they treat us as such and not shut us up in conversations that matter. Because every time a young person stands up to speak, every time a young person does something, it is annoyed. You're hauling along. And or they will call you the lazy youth, and when you now stand up, they will say, no, why are you standing up? We're not used to this. You have to stay there and let us do the job like we're meant to do. And this is why we cannot impact society as much as we're meant to do. And this is why today we're discussing society versus youth. It's meant to be society and the youth, or society is the youth and the youth are the society. But because of this divide, young people cannot it's either we'll go forward and something will just draw us back. Go forward, something will draw us back. And as a parent,
imagine that you come here now, we have a project, and let's say you're all above 30 and I'm 15. And I come with the best idea. Who you say you're having? Because you're the youngest.
Or they will use your project
I take the credit.
Take all the credit and then just forget about it.
As a mother, I want to hear probably that being a mother, there's no understanding at all. They don't respect us.
And they actually have a lot more to say.
I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying some of them don't respect us. I just want to hear your viewpoint on that.
Well, they can't age is just a number. Age number like. Why hell mooy nit nit da nga war a nite soo nitee dégloo ñu ne xaleel bu loxoom setee mu mën a bokk ay mag ndaw olof loolu la wax parce que xaleel bi xale bi sa loxo bu setee su mag ñi di lekk ne di nga mën a ñëw dugal sa loxo waaye sa loxo setut fu mag ñi di lekkee doo fa ci mën a dugal sa loxo loolu la kii wax léegi mu ne lu tax ñu dee wax yuuti na leen soo waxee sax ñu la yow waruloo wax because dafa am attitude boo am at noo mel ba nga xam ne doo mun a interact ak mag yi dafa am yuut yoo xam ne dafa am yuut yoo xam ne fu mu taxaw wax mag yi dëgg de am kay léegi jee anis mel am na yoo xam ne fu mu taxaw ne mane dinañ leen déglu parce que dinañ la xam ne anam yi ci fayda rek laa dox ci fula rek laa dox defu dara lu dul njuuj njaaj waaye yow yuut bi soo boo defee nii soo ñëwee doo xamante sama du ma la déglu mooy li Mr my brother bi wax yuut si ñooy lépp politique bi politicien bi sax ci su buggee taxaw sax yuut si laa ut léeg-léeg ko yuut si ñoo laa yóbbu fi nga bugg a eggal waaye soo fa àggee yuut si am fayda dañoo stay yuut si ñàkk a fayda ñoo dee doon at the back.
But I want us to go like into the homes, and I want to talk about trauma. Kind of like parents, there's a lot of parents that discipline their children and be like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And then you go out in the streets, your mates are doing the same, or you're seeing representations that this is good. Take for example, I'm sure everyone has seen the condom billboards that have been erected. Now, if I tell my child, or if I don't want to hold the sex conversation at home, and my child goes outside and has this sex conversation with her peers that do not know anything, or they're going to tell her is good or keep crap. That's where peer pressure comes from. So if this sex conversation is not had at home, how do you expect the child to handle it when they hear it from their own mates?
But that's why conversation between adults and children is very,
Exactly.
very important.
Exactly.
Exactly. The people that put up the billboards considered like the youth perspective.
And that's where society versus youth comes from.
I think before they make decisions, they should involve the youth.
But that is because we are being represented in a parliament that we're being represented, we don't know who's representing us. The people that are representing us do not know us, they cannot speak for us. They are being elected on grounds that,
it's unfair to take 5 years.
Exactly. When the older generation votes, they vote in people that they know. In as much as in this country, I doubt we have presidential debates, but that's another topic for another day. They know who they put into power, but we don't know who we're putting into power into parliament. And they get to vote in bills. Where was the youth parliament when these things were being put up? It's bad for the youth because now, when a child sees these billboards outside, they think, okay, Lila. Kugiena rekta semo. They be like, Lila. Okay, bana.
Why they Lila? Okay, bana. Dafa fekk booba gis nga jigéen child doom xam nga doom bi gën a mën a sës si yaayam mooy doom ju jigéen doom ju jigéen yaayam dafa war di waxtaan ak moom
dégg nga
ku sa doom bu jigéen soo demee ba gis na mu ngee màcco mu ngee ceeñ danga ko war a tegal lii ñëw 6 months balaa nga koo dal soo xamee ne kii 10 years si nga ko war a start di wax things about menstruation
mu
xam loolu daay gisagum ko soo ko waxee about loolu ba mu ko daay gis nga ñëw nag si about sexuality soo menstruation da mooy la da nga ne ko lii at lii la gis nga menstruation mooy tax nit di mun a jur doom fekk yaa ngee menstruate di nga jur doom fekk balaa ngaa nag jur doom da ngaa am sex lifin ak nit su fekkee nag ne yow tolluwuloo foofu bul ko def parce que soo ko defee foog lii lay laa dal te soo bañee lii dal la kon bul def loolu ba nga am di age of def ko dafa am age lu nekk dafa am age parce que nit ki soo ko waxal danga ko waxaloo ne dafa clair bul laal wax bi da nekk si kaw
wow that if you go close to a boy you're going to get pregnant
wax bi danga koo tiba
exactly
mu understand soo amee sex da ngaa biir de te soo biir da ngaa am doom te nee na naka laa téye nee
na du nanka
baby cannot hold a baby.
Yeah, that's right.
It's very sad.
But
you baby.
So Mr. Marina, what do you have to say about this?
I want to question for political activists.
Wow. What do you have to say about the political stance?
The government, they don't if they are making decisions
Yeah.
at the start,
Yeah.
the youth are the future.
Absolutely. They are all fine.
Their presidents
Yeah.
or their ministers or their leaders now, when they're making big decisions that involves the youth.
But further down the line,
Yeah.
exactly.
Doesn't make sense.
I think the answer to this thing is youth should just take up their rightful place.
Yes, true.
Because we have seen just during the previous National Assembly election, there were hashtag not too young to run. You know, where we have seen a lot of young people campaigning for, you know, young people to, you know, enter politics and go into National Assembly elections. Yeah.
Please can we hold that thought and go for a short commercial break?
And then come back.
Yeah.
Tough Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens, strategically located in Jambanjeli, off the new Sikuta Jabang Highway. Tough Tulip Gardens is set to comprise of finished 2 to 4 bedroom houses and service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar street lights, all-weather roads, and scenic gardens. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only. We offer flexible payment plans, a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank, and EcoBank, or an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at Tough Bluefoot Gardens Estate opposite 5-Star Hotel.
Assalamu alaikum mbokki Gambia mbokki Sénégambia waa Empire ma yónni ci yéen mbokki Gambia ñu ne yéen a leen lebal ker ñu fay leen tamit moo waral nag ñu wàññi mboolem bagage bu ñu am biir Empire wàññi nañ toogu yi yëpp wàññi nañ toogu yi te toogu yi different kind of toogu lañ am ak different size ci toogu saal boo am amal nañ la toogoom cabinet boo am amal nañ la toogoom kon nag mbokki Gambia ñëw leen biir Empire ñu ñëw nag ci dining table yi jeeg ñaa ngi nii lii mooy dining table yi jeeg ñi te dining table yi dafa àndaa ay bagaasam yoo xam ne moom lañ laa jaayaale mu àndaa ak dining bi ak ay bagaasam dining bi li lay ànda moo lii moo ànda soo buggee télé boo mun a bugga saay sam bu emamaay ba ca toppa ak beneen ba toppa ca télé boobu soo ñëwee biir Empire fii di ko am kapet boo bugga Empire ko am different size ka kapet la ñeen amal façon yi kapet boo bugga soo duggee see biir Empire danga ko am ñoo leen biir Empire loo leen bugga at soo ñëwee Empire di ngeen ko fi gis price boo leen am di ngeen ko fi gis asalaamaaleykum.
The development of our Dalaba estate commenced in November 2018. Today, Dalaba comprises of over 350 affordable and quality homes with fenced and gated service plots. The estate boasts features such as surface dressed roads with interlocking bricks, solar street lights, and beautiful landscaping to be further complemented with 1,500 fruit trees. With accessibility to water and electricity, fenced service plot owners continue to develop their properties. Over 90% of the estate has been completed and handed over to their respective owners within a period of 24 months. Tough Africa Global has transformed a 20-hectare undeveloped plot into a fully functional residential estate, housing families comfortably. Tough Africa Global. Our experience is global, our focus is Africa. For information on any of our current and future developments, please call +220 776 2333 or 376 2333.
Welcome back from that short break. And before we went on break, Mr. Mariner was touching on the subject of his stance on why a lot of young people don't go into politics and how young people should get into politics.
Yeah, I think for us to, value ourselves, we should always take our rightful position.
Right.
Because we see that as young people, if we are well organized, well mobilized, we can get anything we want. And politicians understand this thing very well. They master it. They know that a disorganized community of young people, you know, is easy to manipulate. But
right.
an organized community of young people is difficult to manipulate. And then it's hard because we young people, we have issues among ourselves.
Exactly.
One thing, we don't support each other. One thing, we don't celebrate each other. If you know your show is doing amazingly well, you have competitors. Instead of people coming in and supporting
Trying to move forward.
the same young people will come and say, hey.
I mean,
So these are all societal issues that young people are going through. But what can we do? We can bridge this gap by taking up our rightful position in politics.
Hey, Mr. Marina, sorry, you were talking about this, like an organized youth empowerment.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they are doing their rightful job to like push these youths forward.
Yeah.
So like, what do you think, or what advice do you have for them, so that they can be more youth empowerment organizations that can actually help us, the youth, move forward?
honestly, I'm tired of youth empowerment organizations.
There's a lot of young people. There's
hundreds in this country.
that are meant to empower young people.
I like that.
One of
Exactly.
them, one of them is the National Youth Council. They have been going through a lot of issues. I think it's because they have not, take up their rightful places. That is why they are having all these issues. One thing young people can do, because a well-organized structure of young people, you are a force to be reckoned with. But politicians will never allow you guys to be organized because they fear that a well-organized community of young people is capable of driving,
Anybody
driving change. So the more you are, disorganized, that's at the benefit, at their own advantage. So one thing they can do, that is, young people have to be conscious of what they are. They know that youthful age is just a period. If you leave that age bracket, you are into another world. The others will tell you, if I know, I would have worked so hard at my youthful age. You see, old dads in their 60s, 70s, struggling with us, something that we're all looking for. Example, a degree. When you are at the age of 20 to 30, you're good to go into the university. So you see, certain people at age of 40, they're struggling with you in class because they're supposed to do it at a time that they didn't do it. So that's something that young people have to watch out. And I think Gambia, young people, they are trying their level best. Though there is need to be more improvement.
Not all.
Yeah, not all. Not all. Because I have my work entirely. I work with young people. During the building of a new constitution, that's the Constitutional Review Commission, young people were at the forefront. They submitted a position paper and said, look, this is what we want to see in the constitution. We want to have at least 40% of youthful representation. They organized themselves. And look, when we drafted the new constitution for the first time, we created a number of percentage that increased the current percentage of young people in the parliament. But unfortunately, the draft constitution could not pass that stage.
I think, sorry to cut you off, but I think the reason why young people are not getting into politics is because at school we're being taught what the longest river is, how many teeth a dog has. We're not being taught how to take the forefront. We're not being taught, listen, when you go this way, this is what you do.
I think they don't
be
consider
able
students
to
as youth.
Yeah, but also,
They don't consider the students as youth.
Queen,
So Anna?
don't you feel like for us to go forward, as you were saying, and take the forefront, between us, we need unity?
Absolutely.
Exactly, the youth are divided.
The youth, they're very divided. A lot of them are discombobulated. A
They're
lot of them are lost.
They're
They don't
just
know where
all around
they're
the
going.
place.
Exactly. Just take a look at the people that we know.
But you know what,
Take a look
yeah?
at our society. How do we go forward together if a lot of people, they don't even know? A lot of people, there's not enough guidance for them. They don't know where they want to go.
And I want to
They
touch
don't
on
have
that
dream, They don't
guidance.
have ambition.
Auntie Anna, as a parent, do you think early pregnancy or teenage pregnancy is as a result of lack of guidance in the home?
No.
What do you think? Because a lot of the time when teenage pregnancy happens,
It can be-
and before that,
it could
African
be.
parents would be like, if you get pregnant, I will drive you out of the house. And then when they finally get pregnant, they take care of that child. They need to that child. They become the best grandma. So I don't understand. Like, there has to be a put your foot down.
But you can't say that they can't look after the child.
No, but imagine
What
growing up in a household.
environmental
Imagine growing up in a
sometimes.
household where your sister mistakenly got pregnant, mistakenly quote unquote, got pregnant, yes, and then she did it once, your mom accepted. Did it twice, your mom accepted. Won't you think that that's normal?
It's okay to accept, but let them face the consequences. Because without the consequences, they'll go and do it again.
Let's
hear it from Auntie Anna, the mom.
Thank you. Yaa ngi noppi de.
dama leen di déglu. li ngeen di wax laay déglu because yaay bu nekk soo amee sa doom ju jigéen. war nga koo mun a bàyyi xel ba xam ndax. kii mu ngi ci tànki yëfi góor. nekku ci yëfi góor. loof dafa neex. gis nga loof. c'est very very sweet thing. soo si nekkee rek. nit bu la bàyyi yow dëgg rek dina xam yow ci lan nga nekk.
That's right.
man dama la dee toppa. man my child is just 12 years, is just 15 years old.
xamul dara.
waaye dama ko dee dégg muy wax.
yow yaa xam
ci téléphone bi guddi. I just go and pick the phone.
waaw jeex na rek.
yaa ngi interested.
jël nomba bi bi fekkal la lu xaar. I'm just calling back to tomorrow morning. naka nga def maa ngi fi yow la kan man la diw sanga man school nga nekka mu wax am na ko xam ne mu doon wax ak moom. That man is at the university.
That man.
University.
Man nga wax de.
Wow.
He's at the university. And that child is at grade 8. I tell the man, dama ko nax ba laaj ko fu mu dëkk ak
you know advise all that pedophilia movements.
Why the way I learned with this man? Lama ne ko dama bëggoon a xam rek yaay kan at foo nekk because dama laa yóbbu child welfare.
True.
Because yow yaa ngi abuse xale boo xam ne it's just 15 years old.
Exactly.
And you are 30 years old.
Yeah. It's a lot.
When you're ready, I'll just show you the text.
But you know,
if I send a text, I apologize. Di man yan, na ko balal. Hanga friend.
Hanga luma jahal, Auntie Anna. I'm not here, you buddy. For one, they're not ready for a child. That comes to this teenage friend, and sometimes they just want to have a child, right? Then after they have the child, they do not know how to take care of this child.
Because they're babies.
And then the one that pains me more, you belong to the streets and you want to tell your daughter.
21 years old girl, how can
exactly, you belong to the streets. You want to tell your daughter get out of the streets. It doesn't work like that because so how many?
There are two different kind of mothers.
You cannot belong to the streets. And I will re-emphasize, you cannot belong to the streets and expect your daughter to belong to the home. Boo-boo. You belong to the streets, your daughter gonna belong to the streets. What did you expect? So you cannot tell your child to stay off of boys if you're going for men. If all she sees is you being with men, all she sees is you lowering your standards for men, then she's gonna lower her standards for boys. And that's just it, period. Point blank.
Yaay dafa mari fasam ñaar la. Am na yaay yoo xam ne moom lu mu am daf ko jubal ci doomam. dafa mel ni gaynde bu gis yàppa si doomam. pour doomam da dem rek la bugga. te dafa war a jàng dafa war a am du def beneen tànka. am yaay yoo xam ne dafa maquette doomam.
correct. daal nga si.
te lu bari na fii de.
yow maquette nga wax.
Kay.
dafa am maquette doomam ci seen.
waaw.
Baas.
soo seetsee doomam sax. yaay baa laa ñu ka xool from up.
doo ko may nii.
Where are you working? So su fekkee ne you are well good guy. am nga xaalis gaare nga foowil ci bundi kër bi. yaay gaa laa njëkk a ñaanal teeru la. ne la yàlla defal jàmm. yaay bi loolu la laa war. because yaay ji dafa bëgg a yow nga ñëw.
du seet si interest yi doom bi sax.
du seet ne doom ji mu ngi jàng. du seet ne doom ji is just 25 years or 22 years. future doom ji. ëllëg. because yaay bi yow moom loo sama kenn.
But you know, I would like to hear from Mr. Marina because these kids are not only made by a woman, they're made by a male. And I want to understand why certain young boys, why do you want to suffer yourself? Get to the child at the age of 20. Like, why? Life is nice.
A lot of the time, I think it's lack of education, but I want to hear you.
Yeah.
After?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you because adulthood is about continuous education.
True.
We have a culture of silence in this
That's
country.
it.
Exactly.
People don't want to communicate with their, with their siblings. People don't want to communicate with their daughters, with their sons. Because if we can see posters, on the highway advertising people to protect themselves or avoid unprotected sex, what is stopping our mothers and fathers
from doing that at home?
From doing the same at home.
Sex education, how can you protect yourself? So, but I think it's the society, the way the society is set up. The society, will not allow us to, because number one, we were told that talking about sex is a taboo.
It's a taboo.
Even if you reach 18 years, you cannot talk about, sex. So I think the society need to change.
Sorry, Mr. Marina, sorry, we always have to cut you when you have a banger point to put across. We have to go for a short break and we'll be right back.
Tough Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens, strategically located in Jambang Jeli, off the new Sikuto Jabang Highway. Tough Tulip Gardens is set to comprise of finished 2 to 4 bedroom houses and service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar streetlights, all-weather roads, and scenic gardens. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only. We offer flexible payment plans, a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank, and EcoBank, or an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at Tough Bluefoot Gardens Estate opposite 5-Star Hotel.
Assalamu alaikum mbokki Gambia mbokki Senegambia wa Empire ma yónni ci yéen mbokki Gambia ñu ne yéena leen lebal ker ñu fay leen timit moo waral nag ñu wàññi mboolem bagage bu ñu am biir Empire wàññi nañ toogu yi yëpp wàññi nañ toogu yi te toogu yi different kind of toogu lañ am ak different size ci toogu saal boo am amal nañ la toogoom cabinet boo am amal nañ la toogoom kon nag mbokki Gambia ñëw leen biir Empire ñu ñëw nag ci dining table yi dining table yi jeeg ñaa ngi nii lii mooy dining table yi jeeg ñi te dining table yi dafa àndaa ay bagaasam yoo xam ne moom lañ laa jaayaale mu àndaa ak dining bi ak ay bagaasam dining bi li lay ànda moo lii moo ànda soo buggee télé boo mun a bugga saay sam bu emamaay ba ca toppa ak beneen ba toppa ca télé boobu soo ñëwee biir Empire fii di ko am kapet boo bugga Empire ko am different size ka kapet la ñeen amal façon yi kapet boo bugga soo duggee see biir Empire danga ko am ñoo leen biir Empire loo leen bugga at soo ñëwee Empire di ngeen ko fi gis price boo leen am di ngeen ko fi gis asalaamaaleykum.
The development of our Dalaba estate commenced in November 2018. Today, Dalaba comprises of over 350 affordable and quality homes with fenced and gated service plots. The estate boasts features such as surfaced dressed roads with interlocking bricks, solar street lights, and beautiful landscaping to be further complemented with 1,500 fruit trees. With accessibility to water and electricity, fenced service plot owners continue to develop their properties. Over 90% of the estate has been completed and handed over to their respective owners within a period of 24 months. Tough Africa Global has transformed a 20-hectare undeveloped plot into a fully functional residential estate, housing families comfortably. Tough Africa Global. Our experience is global, our focus is Africa. For information on any of our current and future developments, please call +220 776 2333 or 376 2333.
Welcome back to the show, the Unspoken-LKDW. Before the break, Mr. Marina was on the Big S. Yeah, I think you can look into that camera and tell the youth at home that it's not something you can just live with anyhow.
Exactly.
They don't know how important. I think they're not educated enough to do it. I might sound hypocritical or just, I don't know, before they attack you at home. But Mr. Marina, please go on.
Yeah, I think parents have to open up, to have this fruitful conversation with young people and realize that, young people have a very important role to play in society.
That's right.
That, every human being go through a process, and then, you go through this youthful process. And then, what we see you know, all over the world. We have seen that when it comes to politics, you know, they go in and get young people, you know, do everything. But when they succeeded, they start leveling these young people as criminals. Even if there is no electricity now, we organize ourselves, young people, look, let's go to Westfield and protest. You know, because we feel that, you know, there is lack of electricity, there is no access to clean drinking water. All kind of government will level young people of all kind of names.
Criminals.
They will say these are criminals, you know, these are, you know, all kind of names. So I think the society need to change its perception towards young people, and you know, young people also need to see that, you know, they need the society, like the society needs them. Because you know, whatever you have in a society, you know, good people will come back and give back to the society, and they will say it's a good person. But you know, society also contribute towards, you know, a lot of stuff towards young people. At times, people will you will not have anything in a particular community, and then, you know, you start certain behaviors. People will say, look, this guy is mad, while even if you are not mad, you know, but the society, the way they perceive you, that can lead you to total madness. So the society has a, you know, lot to offer to young people in order to ensure that at least, you know, they reach their fullest potential.
Yeah, so Mr. Marina, you were also talking about the youths also, like, they should engage in going to universities, not sit at home being useless. But some of them, they're very less fortunate. So like, what advice, or not only advice, or what are the solutions you think like they should do or the government should provide for?
Not even less fortunate. Some youth out there, education is not
it's not their thing.
Exactly, it's not their thing
for them. So some are creative in the arts department,
some in sports.
Some in sports.
So others have.
I think what you can do, nothing comes easy, and then someone can help you if he see the seriousness in you. And this is something that is lacking in most young people.
And there are also like scholarships there.
And
like the government sometimes, I don't want to call names, but you know, as we know, like,
you know,
this
exactly this that who you know syndrome.
You see, this Mbokanize, because she's my sister. If an opportunity comes, I'm giving it to Queen because she's closer to me. I'm not giving it to the one that's out there with the qualifications. You see, so that is also out there. So you see, so these are all the things that we should tackle. So it should not be in our society. So what do you have to say about that too?
Yeah, I think, you know, the society has to be fair with young people.
That's right.
Those who deserve should have what they need to have. Let's say if there is a scholarship for 5 bright students in West Coast region, you know, and then we all know that Mr. Dabo is among those bright students. Mr. Dabo deserves that particular scholarship. But then because Mr. Dabo is not from the family I know, or Mr. Dabo is not connected to the system, he will not be able to. So that is something that encourages a lot of young people. I went to Armitage. I left with most of the guys in Armitage are from poor background, but these are very bright students. So when we completed high school, you know, a lot of people who have opportunity to proceed to university had, and these bright students, you know, who, you know, come from very poor background are stuck. You know, they're stuck, you know, because they don't have someone to help them. Even government who's supposed to help them are not helping them because of what we are just talking about now, that there is no fair distribution of this scholarship based on competence or merit. It's just like who you know. So young people, how do we bridge that gap? I think we need to work so hard, you know, because look, if you know where you come from, you will know where you are heading to. You know, if you know that the government here is not going to help me, why will I sit down every day and waiting for government grant? I have to stand up, wake up every morning and go and look for something. But here, young people don't want to do that. You know, I don't mean to hurt, but you know, it's hard to say that here people want you to come and give them something. People don't want to, you know, take responsibility of trying, you know, on their own, you know, because I have seen a lot of hardworking people. I've seen people working with me at the same institution. These people are working to pay their university fees.
I mean,
Auntie Anna, you also have something to say, right?
As our mom here, some moms, we are all taking the side of the youth that yes, the government.
We've just been saying moms, what about the fathers?
No, but
moms represent fathers.
I'm joking. Moms, like as a mom, there are some moms, they're too good for their kids to act a particular way. Come man, I find it unfair. You say yeah, you boss you. She's doing everything she can do for you.
Strongly.
She's at home, you're a very good boy. You're a very good girl. You don't talk to Ken, you're Julie every day. But outside the house, you are behaving somehow.
Exactly.
And I think that's unfair to parents at home. Your mom is trying her best to teach you good, and you're going outside. At home, you are one. Outside, you're eight. Just two opposite. Now, I just want to hear how point as a mom, how do you
think we can solve it? Because before concluding on this show, we need to talk about the solutions too.
You can do that. But stories are there.
Why legally it's a digger, man,
Definitely.
Because I'm like, you have me. Come you let us have more
Possible.
That happened. They do more.
So I'm going to have that, but it's going to be said about
legally it's a don't believe in
because
attitude being one of the things we go higher, we do get to they were told for the stage. They don't want to come. When I'm not doing harmony, when you're those are anti-minds.
So before we conclude on this show, we want to find possible solutions. See,
I think one of the major things that society has to do now is, I think society really doesn't understand the full potential of the youth and the full potential of believing in the youth.
And even the youth themselves, they don't understand it because that's not the what they've been shown.
Right.
In other people's eyes, they're not. I guess the elder generation don't really show them this is a potential that you have. This is how capable you are.
Right.
So if they feel that way, obviously a lot of them they're not going to stand up and try and take that stand.
Right.
They're going to feel useless with them themselves. They're not going to know their worth.
So what are the measures here?
Society believes in the youths.
Yeah, but
because they are now the youth
one side you come there's some adults out there, they don't try to understand the youth. But they don't even try. There's some always they trying their best to empower the youth.
Youth every day they're thinking of a step forward.
Wow,
True.
Every day when they wake up, you get hard banjego and you'll say them forward. I'm not going to say
dañoo eewu di nelaw. Wow. Seen xel yaa ngay nelaw.
They're walking and they're sleeping.
I think the youth they have to know their rights.
Yeah, exactly. They have to know their rights.
But how do you know your rights if at school you're not being taught your rights?
You figure out exactly.
Exactly, and which is why
You the students.
Exactly.
You the students. You're not at school. How can you see a student being in love with the teacher?
Why is the teacher being in love with the student?
Why is the student being in love with the teacher?
Why is the teacher being in love with the student?
Who teacher be teaching a student? You don't have a student.
Don't be Which is why it's important you show your children love at a very young age. Teach your children luxury at a very young age so they don't go looking for luxury in the wrong places. Teach your children, okay.
People don't look for luxury in the love. I'm not
So Mr. Marina, yes, so before we end the show, can we give the possible solutions you think, or advice for the youths? What do you think we should do?
Alice la. Yeah, you don't record it.
So, Mr. Marina, what's your advice for the youth?
My advice for young people in this country is, we can make it here with commitment, hard work, and dedication, and believing in ourselves, believing in our parents, talking to our parents, engaging them. If we are youth, many people believe that, we don't need any advice.
Okay, so before we round up, please, can I leave Auntie Anna also to advise them?
Wow,
that's it.
That's right.
Bills upon bills. That's it.
Believe in yourself. Why should go to society can do
la gum.
Because you doubt I don't think
Society should also believe in you.
I see this.
That's true.
Unfortunately,
that brings us to the end of the show.
Thank
this is the
you.
Unspoken-LKDW.
Stay tuned.
Next time.
See you. Bye.